This video is about cleaning and reducing the file size of your Revit models. In this case, we're going to review a Revit button called Purge Unused in Families, which you can use to clean and use assets within families in just a few clicks. This has large impact in the file size of your Revit models. This button is part of the setup button called the Cleaners, which you can try for free in NonicaTab PRO at Autodesk App Store. So let's jump into Revit. First of all, we're going to see what Purge Unused does in Revit. So this is a button that comes by default in Revit, and it is used to clean and use families or types in your project. So basically, we just need to click on it. And here we have a list of all the unused views, families, and so on. We can check specific types of them. We can check all, none. In this case, we're going to check all. And we're going to click OK. It usually takes a few iterations until we purge all of them because the command is made that way in Revit. So in order to clean to 0, we may need to run it like a few times. Usually 3 times is enough. Yeah, we got it to 0. So that's great. So with this, we can actually clean our model. But the main issue is like this does not clean our families. So if we, for example, open this door family, we can see that within the family, there are still things that hasn't been cleaned. So we're going to show you how you can actually clean all these things within your model. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to NonicaTab PRO, and we're going to select Purge Unused in Families. Once we select it, we have a list of all the families in our model. So we can actually check the things we want to purge. Let's go to Doors, Detail Items, Doors. Yeah, so we click the first one, we click Shift, and we go to the last one. And now we have selected all the door families, for example. We can use this to check all or none of the elements, and we can use this checkbox to dismiss warnings. So if we have this check, basically when it's purging our model, no warnings will be shown that are not critical. So if we have this unchecked, all the warnings in Revit will be displayed and the process will be stopped every time there is a warning for you to check. So let's leave this dismiss and let's purge. So now we have like a progress bar that we can actually interrupt or cancel if we want, and we can see how many families are purged already. So this is usually a time-consuming process. So if you purge a lot of families, we have experienced that, for example, for 250 families, it can take up to 10 or 15 minutes. So get ready to get a coffee. Great, so the command has already purged 20 families. And in order to update the file size of the project, we need to save it to make it effective. So we're going to see what the command has done is basically open the families that we have selected, and it has purged each one of them and then reload them in the project. So if we actually open, for example, the door that we just saw before, we go to Manage and we go to Purge, we see that all the different assets that used to be here are now clean. So this is a very helpful way of cleaning and reducing the file size of your project. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually do it for the entire project. So we have our project which has a file size of 150 megabytes, and we're going to see how much it is reduced just using this Revit button. So we click again on Purge Unused. We're going to select all of them and dismiss non-critical warnings check. Great, so let's run it again. 300, more than 300 families has been purged. And now we just need to save the model to make the file size smaller. So we're gonna click on saving, and then we're gonna go to the folder where the project is. And as you can see in this case, we have a reduction of almost 50% from the previous size that was 150 megabytes to 83 megabytes in this after purging all the families. So there is actually a large impact in the file size by purging all the unused assets in your project. As you can see, this Revit button is quite helpful to reduce the file size of your Revit model, but also to clean unused assets in the project. So feel free to check this one out and also other Revit button in actions in our YouTube channel. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy.